Desiree's Dream. Chapter 3. Mystery and Intrigue. After Mobile surrendered, Union soldiers patrolled the streets, keeping crime at bay. The Confederate army in the city disbanded and sent on their way to find their loved ones. The soldiers living in Mobile worked in the paper mills, shipyards, and on the docks as supplies began to help support the citizens of the South. Desi and Alex walked through the city streets, smiling and watching Beauregard chase squirrels, only to find that he couldn't climb trees. He waited patiently with his tongue hanging out and drool splashing in the grass. They couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and relief over how everything had changed. The city, once battered and bruised, was finally beginning to heal. The sound of hammers ringing out, the chatter of merchants hawking their wares, and the laughter of children playing in the streets were music to their ears. As they wandered, they couldn't help but recall their pivotal roles in the city's resurgence. With her quick wit and uncanny negotiation ability, Desi had bartered for supplies to ensure she and Alex could survive another week. On the other hand, Alex had a knack for strategy and a mind for logistics. He helped every day by doing what it took to help the merchants rise again. But amidst the jubilation, a subtle undercurrent of unease rippled through the city. Predators came into town by road and train, carrying large cloth bags that resembled fine tapestries. Rumors spread like tendrils of smoke, whispering of an evil presence gathering strength in the shadows. Tales of a mysterious and powerful force intent on exploiting Mobile's newfound hope and stability sent shivers of apprehension through the populace. The very air seemed to crackle with an impending sense of apprehension. Desi and Alex, now more vigilant than ever, were drawn to the city's heart, where the lively marketplace bustled with activity. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the tangy scent of seafood and the sweet perfume of exotic spices. Vibrant tapestries fluttered in the gentle breeze, casting dappled shadows on the cobblestones. At the same time, minstrels strummed lutes and whistled merry tunes, and the organ grinder with his exotic monkey entertained the children, which was Desi's favorite. Suddenly, something caught Desi's eyes, and she whispered loudly, "Look, Alex, over there," and pointed toward a jewelry stand with the merchant adjusting her merchandise with her back turned. Alex glanced over and said, "Look at what?" Showing a hint of frustration, Desi replied, "There, look, there, it's Andre." Alex looked again and saw Andre on the counter with a bracelet between his teeth, walking on tiptoes with his eyes planted firmly on the merchant. Alex chuckled, "Well, I'll be darn. How resourceful." Desi frowned and gave Alex a swift nudge with her elbow. "You should be ashamed of yourself. That is stealing." Alex cared about Desi, but would not let her get away with that. He gave her a sarcastic grin and said, "Well, little one, you should be ashamed of yourself also, and you are worse." Desi started to fume by this time and quickly replied, "What do you mean I am worse?" Desi leaned forward with her legs together, hands on her hips, and chin poked out, waiting for an answer. "Well, my little jailbird, you have been selling the trinkets Andre had been giving you. That means you are an accessory." Desi's legs suddenly buckled, and she took a giant step back with her hand up to her open mouth. "My God, you are right. Quick, Alex, let's get out of here." Alex grabbed Desi's hand, but before he could say anything, she bolted through the crowd, dragging him behind. Finally, Desi, out of breath, was forced to stop. She released Alex, bent over, holding her knees, and panting. As she rested, Alex put his hand on her shoulder and said sarcastically, "If you are nice to me, I won't tell." Hearing his words, Desi glanced up only to see a friendly smile. She knew Alex was joking and gave him a playful punch in the stomach. Alex gently grabbed Desi's hand and led her back to the market. After a short walk, Desi and Alex stopped to examine the many colorful items carefully placed on tables adorned with vibrant decorations. Among the vendors, a striking figure caught their eye, a woman with skin the color of rich mahogany and eyes that seemed to hold ancient secrets. She wore a cloak of black feathers, each shimmering with iridescent hues, and her long braids were adorned with bells that rang as she moved. Sensing their gaze, the woman offered a mysterious smile, her teeth flashing sharp and white. Alex approached her, his curiosity getting the better of him. "Pardon, mistress," he began, his voice carrying a hint of caution. "Might I inquire as to your business here?" The woman's smile widened, revealing a hint of fangs. "Ah, young ones," she purred, her voice like molten honey. "I am but a humble purveyor of curiosities and delights. I bring wonders to those who seek them." With a graceful gesture, she indicated the trinkets and talismans before her. Hearing and seeing what she was selling, Desi quickly looked all around for Andre and Bandit. Desi's gaze fell upon a shimmering pendant, its surface reflecting a multitude of colors. "And what might this be?" she asked, reaching out to touch it. The woman's eyes glinted with mischief. "A token of passion and desire," she replied. "It amplifies the deepest longings and awakens the senses to untold pleasures." Desi's face lit up with an innocent smile, and she couldn't comprehend what the lady said. On the other hand, Alex developed a sheepish grin and captured the lady's every word. Alex's interest was piqued, and a hint of a smile played at the corners of his mouth. "And how does one acquire such a token?" The woman leaned forward, her breath warm against his ear. "Why, my dear, it is earned through a trial of courage and fortitude. Only those who prove their mettle may possess its power." Without hesitation, Desi and Alex shared a determined glance. They were no strangers to challenges, and the promise of unlocking hidden secrets intrigued them. "Very well," Desi said, her voice steady and eyes wide and sparkling. "We accept your trial." The woman's laughter rang out, sending a shiver down their spines. "Brave ones, your journey begins. But heed my warning, the path is fraught with peril and temptation. Only the truest of hearts may prevail." And so, with anticipation and trepidation entwined, Desi and Alex embarked on a quest that would test their courage, uncover forgotten secrets, and ignite dreams they never knew existed. Their journey had just begun, and already, the air crackled with anticipation, promising a tale of adventure, fantasy, and the untold mysteries that lay. Instantly, the bustling tone of the market grew quiet. Desi and Alex looked around. The marketplace's lively atmosphere seemed to melt away, leaving only the mysterious woman, her eyes sparkling with amusement. Fascinated by this mystifying woman, Desi asked, "What do they call you, ma'am?" The lady smiled with a glaring grin. "My name is Ma'am Bridget." "Follow me, brave souls," she purred, turning and striding confidently through the bustling crowd. Her feathered cloak whispered secrets with each step, the bells in her braids chiming softly, creating a haunting melody that lingered in their ears. Weaving through the crowd, they came to a secluded alleyway, where the woman paused, turning to face them with a mischievous smile. "The path ahead is not for the faint of heart. Are you certain you wish to continue?" she asked, her eyes glinting in otherworldly light. Desi and Alex shared a determined glance, their hearts pounding with anticipation. "We are," they said in unison, their voices steady despite the trepidation curling in their bellies. Ma'am Bridget's laughter echoed off the stone walls, chilling down their spines. "Then let the trial commence," she exclaimed. With a flourish of her hand, she produced a small, intricately carved box. The wood glowed with an ethereal light, runes tracing ancient patterns across its surface. "Within this box lies your challenge. Open it, and you will discover the key to unlocking your deepest desires and fears." Desi reached out, her fingers trembling as she traced the smooth surface of the box. "How do we open it?" she asked, her voice laced with curiosity. The woman's smile widened, revealing the hint of fangs. "Ah, that is for you to discover. But remember, only true courage and unwavering fortitude will prevail." With that, she stepped back, her eyes glittering with anticipation. Desi and Alex exchanged a determined glance, their minds racing as they contemplated the puzzle. "We must try everything," Desi said, her eyes sparkling with determination. They spent tireless minutes trying every possible way to open the box. They pried, pulled, pushed, and prodded, but the box remained firmly shut. As the sun began to set, casting shadows across the alleyway, they slumped against the wall, their dejection evident. "Perhaps we are not brave or smart enough," Desi whispered, her shoulders drooping. Alex shook his head, his eyes flashing with determination. "We cannot give up now. We have come too far." As they sat in silence, the faint strains of music drifted towards them, growing louder and louder, the sound of a lute being strummed with passionate enthusiasm. The two companions looked in disbelief as they scanned the alley. Joe sat carving, and the other animals did not hear the music. Desi's eyes widened as she recognized the melody. "The minstrel," she exclaimed. "He was playing the song when we first arrived at the market. He kept playing it over and over again. Perhaps there is a connection." Without hesitation, they rushed back to the marketplace, their eyes scanning the crowd for the minstrel. They found him sitting on a stool, his fingers plucking the strings with practiced ease. "Wait here," Desi whispered before approaching the minstrel with determined steps. "Hark, good sir," she called, her voice carrying above the din of the marketplace. "Might I inquire as to the name of that melody?" The minstrel, a young man with a face as fair as a maiden, looked up, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "Why, it is an old tune, my lady," he replied, his voice rich and deep. "A song of love and longing." Desi's heart raced as she realized the significance. "And what is it called?" she asked, her voice steady despite her excitement. The minstrel's smile widened, revealing a hint of a dimple. "My lady, it is called The Trial of the Brave." With a cry of triumph, Desi turned and rushed back to Alex, her eyes shining with victory. "I have it!" she exclaimed, her hands gripping the box tightly. "The music, the melody, it is the key." As the song's notes hung in the air, Desi placed her hands on the box and began to sing. Her sweet and clear voice carried the melody, and as she sang, the box began to glow, the runes lighting up one by one. With a soft click, the lid swung open, revealing a shimmering pendant nestled within. The minstrel's eyes widened as he witnessed the pendant's reveal, the box's light casting an otherworldly glow upon his face. "Well done, brave souls," he whispered, his voice full of awe. Desi and Alex shared a triumphant smile, their hearts pounding with anticipation. "We did it," Desi breathed, her hands shaking as she lifted the pendant from its resting place. As the pendant caught the light, it sparkled with an otherworldly radiance, reflecting various colors that danced across the walls and converged at a point on a guitar hanging on the makeshift stand. Alex turned, holding Desi's hand, trying to leave, but stopped abruptly, sensing a slight tug. He looked back to see Desi fixed on the guitar. The beam from the pendant seemed to touch the strings, sounding out a melody that only Alex and Desi could hear. The air crackled with anticipation, and at that moment, Desi and Alex knew that their journey had truly begun. The trials they would face and the secrets they would uncover, all lay waiting for them in the heart of Mobile's resurgence. And so, with the pendant safely around Desi's neck and a guitar hanging off her back, they continued their adventure, their hearts filled with courage and their minds brimming with questions. Little did they know their bravery would be tested, and the true nature of their adventures would be revealed in ways they never could have imagined. Their journey had only just begun, and the echoes of their laughter and the soft tinkle of bells lingered in the air, a testament to the magic that lay ahead.